Alright, here the next day, gotta try to get this job done. So I just went and bought some rotors. I got a pretty good discount on them. These rotors look like they could be turned, but they didn't have time to do it, and I needed to get this job done. So what I wanted to do is I got my new rotors, and see that little hole there? I'm just gonna line it up there. And what I'm looking for is to make sure the bolt patterns look the same and it looks like it's the right size and such. And it looks pretty good. And they put an oil coating thing on this and to keep it from rusting so it doesn't look like that. And so I'm just going to spray this down with some brake clean and then probably look to put this on. So I'll just take these bolts off, clean this up, put this on here, and we'll kind of pick it up from there. Okay, I just thought of something. I probably should have broke these caliper bolts loose when they were on the car still, but it's not that big of a deal. So what I did is I hit some penetrating oil on there, and then I just got a little 3/8 impact set up there. I think this was 14 millimeter, and I just hit these and they broke off really easy. So that what I'm going to do is separate the caliper from the bracket, put the bracket on. Also here, look, I sprayed it down so you can see all the oil stuff's off of it now. And I just put this bag over it because when I hit it with the penetrating oil, I didn't want it to drip on my clean calipers or the rotors. So anyway, so we'll kind of pick it up from there. Oops, made a quick mistake there. You don't have to take those out. It just slides off. So don't mess with those bolts. I just put them back in. One tip is on your brake calipers, oh, that's interesting. You want to make sure your bleeder screw is up. And if you think about it, if it accidentally put it on the down position, you could get an air pocket in there. So just think you want it to up so the bubbles can always get up. That's one way you can tell you're putting that on correct. So I took the caliper portion off. I'm sorry, what is this? No, this is so the bracket apparently holds the pads. So I need to put this back on the car, and then this is the caliper portion, I guess. Anyways, I'll show you as I go along. Alright, I said to take the rotor back off so you can see this better. So you got these bolt holes here that's going to hold the bracket on. The brackets are the side with the threads on them. So I'm just going to place this like this and put the bolts in, put the bracket bolts in from the back there, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, this is what it looks like when you get it done. You have to have the rotor on to have the bracket kind of straddle the rotor. But I got my mounting bolts back in there. There's one. There's the other one right there. And I guess the boots hang out towards the back. And so next I'm going to pop these clips out. So it's a good idea to try to look how they're oriented before you take them out. Anyway, so I'm going to replace those next. Alright, so this is my bottom clip. I just took it out, set it down, and then I found the matching one that looked like it. It's got kind of this V-shaped thing going on in there. And so I'm just going to put that back in here the same way it came out, but the new one. Okay, on the top clip you'll notice, see, it just has a lip here, and because the bottom looks similar to that one, but this one that was on the bottom, it's got this rollover piece. So that's how you can tell you're working on the right one. And this is going to go on the top up here, so I'm just going to push it in. Here's what the bottom one looks like when I already placed it. Okay, at this point all I've done is put some brake caliper grease on those pins there. And I'm about ready to, next I'm going to push in the this piston. And so I'll go open the engine bay and I'll take the lid off of the, well, I'll just show you here. So I'm just going to pop the lid off here. And so maybe I'll leave it on there, keep bugs out of it. But so that's going to start filling up as I push that piston in. Okay, so there's a quick way to do this is I just took a extension, went over through the top there, put this in here, and you can see it goes right over there. I'm going to take one of my old brake pads, put it in there to press on that so I'm not hitting any metal on metal, and then I use that as a pry bar and I push that in, and then the rest of the way I just pushed it in with my thumb. So I'm curious to see how much fluid went in the. So I raised it a little bit, but I'm glad it didn't do too much higher. So I'm glad they left that little extra. So I gotta just keep on watching that so don't push it out the thing, and then we'll take probably a turkey baster and take any excess out of that. So we're getting close. Next I need to get these brake shoes put in. So I'll tackle that next. Oh, I think what I usually like to do is put a little caliper grease on these little spots right there, just a very little bit. Alright, so what I did is I just put some Q-tips, just put very little bit just to help slide that in a little bit. You have to have it even, you know, not cocked at all when you push it in, and it just slides right in. You have to kind of overcome these springy deals there. But now I'm just going to do the other side there. A couple of tips to watch for so you know what you're kind of doing as far as putting your shoes on. So see how it has a half circle to it, kind of conforms to the rotor, so that's going to be the back. Also, if you look here, you can see your wear indicators, so you should be able to see those. I don't think you could really put it on backwards, but and then make sure your plates are on. You know, if you get quality brake pads, don't cheap out, because the hardware, if they're not good, it'll be hard to do. Anyway, so just make sure it's there. It looks like I'm gonna have to take out one of these pins so I can put the caliper in and then swing it over and then put the pin in. I don't think it's gonna let me do it with both pins in. Oops, sorry. So take on that task next. One thing I forgot to show you guys is putting on these anti-wear shims. You probably got some new ones. So if this were, you remember I said how the half shape goes out, you look for your wear indicators. Ooh, that one's down, so I guess it's good to change that pad. So on mine, originally they were on the bottom, and you see the scraper thing will point in towards the rotor, so they'll scrape on the rotor when they make noise. So if you got some new ones of these, put them on. If you don't have new ones, just transfer these over to your new ones. Again, mine were on the bottom. I don't know if that's correct, but I'm going to do it that way because that's how mine were. And again, they point towards the rotor. Just go like that there. So I think that's the only thing I left out. I'll let you know if I left anything else out. Okay, I don't know how this is done. Usually on front brake calipers, you lift them up, put them on this one. The way I had to do this was I kind of like assembled this whole unit and just put it back on with the you know, the mounting bolts. So kind of like in the beginning of the video, the way I took it apart, where I just took the bolts out and took the whole unit off. I think you're supposed to just disassemble it, reassemble it like that, and then put it back on, the whole bracket and all. At least that's how I did it. So it's on there now. Yeah, it's going to be stiff because it's brand new brakes. But so that's about it. You want to torque, look up your torque specs and torque the caliper bolts in and the mounting bracket bolts in. And then all that's left on this side is put your wheel back on and then you know, torque the wheel lug nuts down, and that should be it. I'm just going to do the other side just like I did this one. So again, this is not like how you do your brakes. This is just me doing my brake job. I think they wanted like $400 to do this. So anyway, so again, you know, you can get a hold of a real mechanic to learn how to do this. But this is just what I did on my weekend there. And I didn't even get a weekend there, but what I did to save some money there. Anyways, I hope this video helps somebody out, and if you didn't understand something, you could leave a question and comment below and I'll try to answer it there. Anyways, I hope you have a great day, and hope the video helps somebody out there. Thank you for watching.